Good evening, book lovers. Welcome to another episode of Cath-Lit Live. I am your host, Amy Cattapan. You can find me everywhere online under my pen name for my children's books, AJ Cattapan. If you're looking for my teacher books, children's books are in the middle. Teacher books are on the end. If you're looking for my teacher books, you'll find them under Amy J. Cattapan. They're from Ave Maria Press. Well, tonight I have a friend of mine that I've known for a good number of years now through the Catholic Writers Guild, but this is her first time being a guest on Cath-Lit Live, and she is here to talk about her newest book, To Crown with Liberty, from Chrism Press. So Karen Ullo is the author of Jennifer the Damned, which actually I found my copy before going on. I found my copy of Jennifer the Damned, Cinder Alia, which I could not find my copy of before going online, and To Crown with Liberty, which is her newest one. She's the editorial director of Chrism Press and served for more than 3 years as managing editor of the Catholic literary journal Dappled Things. She holds an MFA in screenwriting from the University of Southern California and is the winner of the 2023 Louisiana Author Project, sponsored by the Public Library System. Please help me welcome to the show, Karen Ullo. Hi, Karen.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm so glad to have you here. So I know I was just saying that we've known each other for a number of years, but this is your first time on Cath-Lit Live, and so I'm excited to have you
I
on
know,
tonight.
because it's been so long since I released the book.
I was holding up a copy of Jennifer the Damned. I couldn't find Cinderella. I was like, I don't know where that one is, but at least I had one of your previous books to show. All right. So, but tonight you're here to talk about To Crown with Liberty, which I know you worked on for many years. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it before we dig into the questions?
So To Crown with Liberty is historical fiction, and it has two settings in both Revolutionary France and Spanish colonial Louisiana. And it follows the same woman through both settings. She is a former noblewoman she was a lady in waiting to Marie Antoinette, and she has fled the revolution and come to Louisiana. And the story intercuts between her life in Louisiana, where she's now married to her family's former gardener, and her life in France as a noblewoman, and the court of Versailles. So I like to call it guillotines and gaiters because that's what we're getting. So it's the story of her trying to find a new life in Louisiana, but everything is still haunted by all the memories of everything she has been through during the French Revolution.
Now, I know you've been working, or you had been working on this book for a bit, because we were talking about it a couple of years ago now at the Catholic Writers Conference. So how long did it take you to write? People sometimes don't realize, especially with historical fiction, like the research that goes into it.
Yes, it took me 4.5 years to do the research and the writing. And actually, to get it all the way out to publication, it has now been almost 7. So it's been a very long time in coming. Some of it was that my trip to France got canceled by COVID and had to be rescheduled a whole year later. And so I did go to France as part of my research, but I had no idea what I was biting off when I decided to write historical fiction in 2 different settings, and the obstacles that I would encounter in trying to do that. But it was a lot of fun. I learned so many things about just a crazy spectrum of 18th century stuff.
I bet. Now, okay, so it's Louisiana and the French Revolution. Are you a native of Louisiana too?
I am. I'm in Baton Rouge, and I was born here, raised here, have lived here most of my life.
Okay, so tell me about those 2 different settings, and like, why did you choose Louisiana? Just because it's your home area, or what's the connection there?
So the book is actually based on another book called Strange True Stories of Louisiana by a man named George Washington Cable, who was a Louisiana writer of the 19th century. That book is from 1888. And it's not true. He called it Strange True Stories of Louisiana, and they are absolutely not true. But there's enough truth in them that people have been, still to this day, there are diehards who believe that the story is exactly true as Cable wrote it, when in fact he really took many real people and reshaped their lives in ways that were not true to tell a really good story. So the connection actually comes from him. He was the one who told the story of the Countess who had fled France and come to Louisiana. And she may or may not have really been a countess, but she did exist. And so the connection is that there probably was a French noble person, whether it was her or her husband, little unclear in the actual history, who fled from the French Revolution to Louisiana, which was ruled by Spain, which was the House of Bourbon, the same royal house as France. So it kind of makes sense that a French noble person would say, maybe that's where I can go.
All right. Now, I understand that you dedicated this book to the Holy September martyrs. Can you tell us about them and why you chose to dedicate your book to them?
So the French Revolution resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of people, and quite a number of them have been named as martyrs. And the Holy September martyrs were killed during the September massacres that took place the first week of September in 1792. There were actually about 1,600 people killed in the massacres. The martyrs who were beatified are 191 priests, deacons, religious brothers, and seminarians who were martyred for refusing to take the oath to the civil constitution of the clergy, which outlawed, eliminated the Catholic Church in France and took it over to secular authority. And so these particular men were killed in that time frame, the 2nd and 3rd of September of 1792. And I didn't start out with them when I started writing a book about the French Revolution. I was thinking more of the Carmelite martyrs of Compiègne, who came at the end of the terror, whereas this is the beginning of the terror. And as the book progressed, they sort of nudged their way in. As I can tell you that martyrs have a way of doing. They like to pop up in my life and tell me, I'm here now, I'm your friend.
Pay attention to me.
Nudged their way in and said, no, you're going to put us in this book. So a few, obviously I didn't put all 191, but a few of the Holy September martyrs nudged their way in as characters into the book.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So like a lot of historical fiction, there's some characters that are maybe made up a little bit and some who really existed and you bring them together.
Yeah, there's actually more real people than fictional people in this book if you count them up. The fictional ones are the main focus, but I have real people ranging from, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, all the way down to people that you actually can't find accurate birth and death dates for, but they were real. And someone attested to them in their memoirs or wrote, and they were real, so I put them in.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, people want to learn more about you, this book, any of your previous books. Where can they find you online?
Karen Ullo, ULLO.com, just my name.
Awesome.
And I'm on Facebook, and because I have such a weird name, if you look for Karen Ullo on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, it's me.
Yeah, that's kind of the nice thing about unusual last names too.
It's the only nice thing about unusual names.
Put in Cattapan, you're bound to find me sooner or later.
Yeah, if you spell it right, it's me.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, I'm so glad you were finally able to come on Cath-Lit Live, and you finally have a new book out, Karen.
Yes, finally it's here after almost 7 years. And thank you so much for having me. And it's so good to talk to you again.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you too. Pleasure to have you on. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too.
All right. So, if you've read any of Karen's previous books, again, it's been a while since she's had a new one out, tell us in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe because I have a new interview coming out about once a month, and I'd love to have you catch all the interviews I have with Catholic authors who have new books releasing. Also, if you haven't checked out the Hello app yet, go ahead and check that out at hello.app/CathLitLive. That is where you can get a free trial using my link. Well, have a great night, everyone. And until next time, I'm just going to wish you happy reading.